Hey guys, we're back to fix our alternator, I believe. So how we can check that the alternator is actually wrong? Because car just suddenly stopped with the thousands of errors. So you can use OBD connector, like I'm doing here. And what we can see here, it's less than 12 and engine is not running. Now we will try to start engine. Obviously, oh, it's not beeping now, but it will, because there's lots of errors. And even on a running engine, we have less than 12, when it's supposed to be like about 14, 15, that numbers. So that's definitely looks that charging is not coming to the battery, even if it's slightly revving, it's less than 12. Another option, if you don't have any apps to diagnose it, you can just plug to your battery with a voltmeter, just one cable to the plus, one cable to the minus, and you will see the same numbers. So when it's stopped, when it's not running, it's supposed to be like about 12, I think 12 bit more, but when it's running engine with the alternator working, it's supposed to be like 14, 15. Sorry for a bit mess here. So that's our alternator. It was a bit issue to find the alternator for this car, I don't know why, for N55. There was an option to fix our original one, but the waiting is like about a week and the price is more or less same. And I checked different stores where I can get it now, and the Euro car parts, the only option was this era, I don't know. Hopefully it will work. And let's see how it looks there. You can't see much here. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna unplug the minus cable, the negative cable, and start to unscrew the alternator and all the plastic around to get it out. And if you have E93, you know it's a bit tricky, a lot of plastic here to remove to get access to the battery as well. So bear in mind, if you've never done it before, I mean the opening your battery, it will take a few minutes for you to understand many clips and a lot of plastic. There is our alternator, N55B30, I think the engine, the first generation N55. So I believe because I have cold intake, it will be slightly easier to get access. So we're gonna remove air intake, this duct, I believe the few screws there, and obviously we need to remove the serpentine belt with the drawing how it's supposed to be before we're gonna touch it, because otherwise 100% guys, even if you remember it in the beginning, in the end you will forget how it's supposed to be there. 10mm socket, spanner, wherever you have 10mm, easy peasy, that's the probably easiest part. So negative connector is unplugged, put some cloth to protect it from any connections, and let's carry on. So now it's good access to it. I believe there will be some tricky spaces, but we'll just unscrew those two and those two bolts. Obviously cable, the positive connector, and let's fix the belt first. So let's draw the template and remove the belt. For the belt we need Torx size T60. There is the place where we need to fit it. Let's try and just push it clockwise. I don't know if you can see something, but yeah, once you push it, it's released the serpentine belt. You have two options: ask someone for a hand, or there is a small hole I can show you here, which is like fixing hole when it's new, so you can put there some metal stick when it's unreleased place and it will stay there. But yeah, for now, most important, we just need to release it and remove the belt. So if you want to make your life easier, I just left it there I just remove it from the top two pulleys. I don't know if you can see, the one is there and another one is actually our alternator. That's it. I don't need to do anything more unless you want to check your serpentine belt, but mine is fresh. I replaced it last year, I believe, so I don't need to check it. Okay, we can carry on. So number 13, those two. The worst part, guys, it's hitting heat wave now in UK, so I need to do it before it's like 40 degrees on this spot. This one is hidden there. After release the cables, and let's see, we'll be able to take it out, or because I seen on internet, on YouTube, a lot of people, they cut it here. I don't want to cut anything, I don't want to break anything. I want to do it as clean as possible and as fast as possible. So the bolts are out. It was easy peasy. I think this bracket, yeah, just take it out of the way. We can clean it after. Let's put it on the ground. This plastic bracket, if you still have it, I will clean it as well, but not now. So bear in mind the different sizes. Top ones are a bit shorter, the bottom ones longer. Small plastic cup, which was just a covering positive cable bolt, and the nut was just there, so just pull it out. And connector, yeah, just a standard, nothing difficult, just pull it away. It's already moving, and now we'll start the most interesting moment. Obviously we need to unplug cable, and after wiggle. New key in our work, so there's no enough space for the ratchet, so I used 13 mil spanner to get access there for the positive cable. Okay, my idea to become the smartest on internet bit failed, because yeah, like I wiggled different places, it's stuck a little bit. So this small corner, plastic corner of intake manifold, it's nothing there, it's even empty inside. That's the best way, I think, to get it out. I'm trying different ways, but there is as well like a few millimeters it's stuck in. So if nothing will work now, I will cut there just a slight corner to leave it go. That's how it looks when I cut it. Maybe not bit more scratch than I expected. So to have this angle, I end up to cut slight corner. The thing is, BMW themselves, they did like that on this other pin, so you see it's not straight, it's cutted. But here I decided to left it straight, so that's why you can take it out. But yeah, once you cut it, you can't see it at all. It looks, well, if you will scratch it less than me, it will look like more or less factory. Just be careful when you will cut it. Be careful those cables there, lines. For the cutting I use this one. I tried with a standard knife, but it's pain in the ass. So with this one, it's literally like a few seconds. Another thing, before you will take it off, you need to take the back cover, is this one. And now, without the back cover, without that piece, you just wiggle it a bit. Oh, it's difficult to do with one hand. 1 second. And just take it off. So because it's already broken, we don't need to really worry about it. So this cup, I don't know if you can see anything. This cup is actually, how it was here. Ah, it was here. literally 3 bolts, 3 nuts with the 8mm, or where's the focus, 8mm. So easy peasy. So this plastic cup, once you will remove the big one, this one will fall out. But yeah, do it once the alternator is there. So the alternator will be there. I screw these 3 nuts there, take the plastic cup, and it will go out straight away. Well, while we're here, we need to clean everything here, because the rest of the engine quite clean. So clean this one, check the pulleys if they're making some noise. Well, obviously because the belt is still there, I need 2 hands to move the belt away. And actually about alternators, how we can see the ERA alternator is slightly different. It's actually different with the connection place. This one is straight, this one is angled, but the rest, I believe, 1 pin, and this one is 1 pin as well. So the rest is alright. We'll see how we're gonna go inside, because I can see that this lead is slightly bigger, but should be alright. The most important, it should charge our battery. Okay guys, alternator is back, but don't buy this brand, ERA. So first time when the actually replica is not good for me in UK, since I'm in UK. First of all, this connector, the cable on original one, it's on the back, and for some reason they made it on the side, so it's not enough length of the cable there, of this wire. So I don't know, is it safe to drive like that, or maybe I will replace it. Maybe I will fix my old one. And another thing, the bottom brackets, these ones, for some reason I measured them, they look exactly the same, but once you try to fit it, it's literally you need to put some power, I don't know, press it with your hands inside. So this one originally just slides in, but this one, it was a pain in the ass to get the right hole slide in inside, but the left one, it was big pain to put it in. Plus this cable, I'm not happy with this alternator at all. Well, we'll see if it will work. We'll see what this cable, how we can leave it like that or no, but yeah, the rest is alright. If you have another brand, make sure you have this connector on the back as the original one. The rest pretty much easy, I would say. I just waste a lot of time with the new one. Okay, well done. Well done to me, well done to BMW, not well done to ERA, which making not really good alternator, I mean the housing of it. So we have 13.7, which is like alright, it's normal voltage. So obviously now I need to delete all the errors, because there's like lots of them stored after the power was dropping down. Go for a ride, but so far numbers are alright. Just a bit worried about the stretch cable, so I checked now under the pressure when the engine is moving, the cable is moving together, so maybe it will last, but for my point of view I wouldn't recommend ERA alternator, just because of that. I prefer when everything is perfect, but the rest, everything is alright, it's working. And I would say about 2 hours, if it will be normal alternator, you can do it yourself.